Hey guys, I'm Sky, and if you've seen my channel, you know that I really love new games, especially indie games, and I just want to do a top 10 or maybe even a plethora of top 10s looking forward at games that I want to play sooner than later. This is going to be a pixel art top 10 for 2016. These are games that are not officially released yet, however, some of them are in early access state, which means you can buy into them and play them right now. But for the most part, these are games that you're gonna have to wait just a little bit, but hopefully we'll be playing them soon. I just want to get you riled up, I want to get you hyped. If you clicked on this video looking for new games to get excited about, then yes, you chose wisely. So let's begin! Pixel Art Top 10 2016. Starting our list here at number 10, we have Dungeon Souls. This is going to be a roguelite title, very similar to something like Binding of Isaac. Except mix that with Dark Souls, and then you kind of got Dungeon Souls. Now, this is a game that I've played extensively and covered extensively on my channel, and I have a lot of fun with it, and it's constantly being updated as, of course, you would expect from an early access title. But what surprised me the most in this rogue type of game is that there's actually a lot of control over how you build your character, with the actual characters that you can choose from, because there's classes, and then there's levels, you can level up your different abilities, and you can buy items, and of course there's definitely random procedural generation, random item drops. But all in all, the game seems very skill-based, and I greatly appreciate that. And if you're looking for a challenge, I think you're gonna appreciate the game doubly. And at number 9, we have a game that I just got and had a ton of fun with, and that's called Crawl. Now, it is a party game. It is a local co-op / competition game where basically one person is a hero. They start the game as the hero, they enter a dungeon, and they go through the levels trying to escape by killing the boss. However, the twist on that is that there are up to 4 ghosts, which are other players or AI, that are trying to kill the hero so that they can actually take over and possess his body, and they do this by summoning monsters and possessing traps. And then once they finally do get into his body, the hero can actually buy items, level up just like the ghosts can, actually evolve their monsters, and then you finally get to the endgame boss and you try to kill it so that you can escape. However, the ghosts also possess the boss and can control the final raid boss. It's actually a lot of fun, more fair than you might think, and overall it is a great time. Plus, pixel art and the chiptunes are fantastic. Next up on our list, we have a game called Children of Morta, which promises to actually be a roguelike hack and slash game, which would make it a roguelite. However, it's narrative-based, which is kind of unique because if you guys have ever played any roguelites, you know there's almost no story ever. So this one actually revolves around family life in obviously a very harsh and dark, brooding world. It looks really good. It seems like it's going to set a great atmosphere, and you know, a lot of people think that in pixel art games you can't do that, but obviously Children of Morta is trying to prove them wrong, especially in a genre that normally doesn't have narrative, so hats off to them. And number 7 on our list here is going to be a game called Grain Wars, and I'm going to admit there's a little bit of bias here with me because the creator of this is actually a YouTuber, and I've been following him because he actually did game maker tutorials and pixel art tutorials, and I've been watching him, and I'm so excited whenever he announced that he was going to do a game called Grain Wars. Now, it's been a while. It's taken quite a bit to actually get out. It was greenlit, which is super exciting, and the game looks really good. It looks like an awesome action RPG / kind of roguelite title, and I still love his art, and that's mainly why I put it on this list so high. So yeah, a bit of a bias, but maybe from the footage in the background, you guys can see where I'm coming from. Number 6 is a game that's actually incredibly self-explanatory. It's been in early access for quite a while. A lot of these sort of like sandboxy games do tend to stay in early access for quite a while, and that's Starbound. Basically, think Terraria, but more like sci-fi versus just straight up being fantasy. Oh no, it is a fantastic game. It just kind of got a little bit of a different aesthetic, but also it's got a couple of different mechanics that sort of evolve the genre, and I think a lot of people already agree that it absolutely does have a lot of potential. But yeah, if you like the gameplay that you're seeing, go ahead. Get it right now. It's in early access and it's already in a very playable state. Number 5, halfway on the list here, we have Hyper Light Drifter. Now, I know a lot of you guys, this is probably like your number 1 game, regardless if it's pixel art or not. Hyper Light Drifter looks like a genuinely amazing action RPG. It's got gorgeous pixel art, of course, that's why it's on this list. But more than that, it seems like it's setting up to have a really unique world setting. The landscape, the story, the entire universe of Hyper Light Drifter itself. I am genuinely interested, and I have yet to even touch the game. I'm sure you guys agree, and probably the only fighting here is why isn't it higher? Coming in at number 4 on our list, we have a game called Duelyst. Now, if you've watched my channel, then you know that I freaking love Duelyst. I did an entire series for like a week straight just called Duelyst Daily. This game is very similar to Hearthstone, but mix Hearthstone with something like Final Fantasy Tactics. It's actually like a card game. Yes, you do draw cards, but you have a playing board. You have your general, and then you summon monsters and creatures and little units around your general, and then you just keep summoning monsters and throw them at the enemy general, and it's all sorts of crazy tactical combat, and it's really fun. But yes, it is very similar mechanically to Hearthstone, except add a board. So really, in my opinion, it's everything just better. Now, I'm pretty sure the art speaks for itself with the digital paint in the backdrop, and then of course the amazing pixel art, but do know that every single creature, spell, everything in this game is animated fully. This card game, more than any other card game that I've played, has the most originality and character. So if you guys watched the Maker Monday yesterday, I talked a little bit about a game called Ghosts and Ghouls, which was a part of my childhood. It was an incredibly difficult game, and Slain, here with an exclamation point, of course, to be awesome, is actually made in the same vein. Now, it's supposedly a heavy metal-inspired combat puzzle game with gore galore, and it does have stunning visuals, I have to admit. It looks great. I am so for this, completely bias admitted, but oh my gosh, it deserves another exclamation point on that title, I think. Please, get excited for Slain with me. Now, our number 2 on this list is a really ambitious game, okay? Basically, take Shadow of the Colossus, then throw that together, mix it with Dark Souls, and then try to make a 2D version of that game. That's Death's Gambit. Now, normally I would be incredibly skeptical, but the first footage that we see of Death's Gambit actually looks like they're completely following that mindset. They are actually performing mechanically what you would do probably in a 2D Shadow of the Colossus, with the atmosphere and the action and the grittiness and the darkness of a Souls game. Now, this would only be possible with a really talented game designer and pixel artist, and it looks like we got both of them. Now, honestly, it would be my number 1, but I feel like it is incredibly ambitious, so I have no idea if it actually will live up to the tales that it's telling. So with that in mind, let's get to number 1. Now, I'm gonna admit that, yes, it was a complete mix-up, pretty much the top 3 on this list. I didn't know really where to put them, but I'm gonna have number 1 as Eitr. It essentially looks like an incredibly highly precise action RPG. Pixel, of course, and the pixel art looks amazing, and you're gonna need really high-fidelity pixel art for this kind of game, and yet at the same time, it's not gross, it's not rough, it just looks absolutely perfect. It looks dark, feels like the atmosphere is going to be amazing when you jump into this game, all doom and gloomy and dark, and at the same time, all the fiery effects, the light effects, everything's really explosive, but you need that for the combat. The combat is supposed to be really precise and incredibly mechanical in this game, and that's what you want in an action RPG, especially a Dark Soulsian isometric pixel action RPG. And in Dark Souls, we all know the finesse of the combat is incredible, but this game, no, it doesn't just take the slow and calculating combat of Dark Souls, but it kind of mixes it with something like Bloodborne as well, where you have fast-paced and high-impact combat, so you can pick and choose how you want to play. And then mechanically, you have to perform that role. You don't just right-click to win like so many other action RPGs. And so since Eitr seems to have such a very clear and concise goal and apparent game feel, I pretty much have no doubt that this game is going to be as good as essentially the trailers make it look like. So for that, it's gotta be number 1. Thank you for watching. I am Skylent, and this was my personal pixel art top 10 for 2016. These are games that are upcoming. Some of them might not even come out in 2016, might not even come out at all because they're Kickstarter or greenlit projects, so they might not actually get funded. But to me, I think they have really exciting mechanics and ideas and concepts and aesthetics, and overall, for pixel art games, I think they look gorgeous and they look really artistic, and that's why I want them. I want them now. I want to play them. Hopefully you do too after seeing them. But if there's any that I missed, maybe I totally missed it, maybe I don't agree with it, but either way, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what pixel art type games might be coming out on the horizon that we all should be looking out for. I really hope you guys are just as excited to play these games as me. And if you are, let me know by liking the video and subscribe if you want to keep seeing videos like this. And if you do, I'll see you again next time.